there, this is Leah with the Race Center and Tyler with the Waterville Valley Recreation Department, and we are not very deep in the woods, but today we are under kind of a surprise tree for me to see. And we're going to talk a little bit about that and some creatures.
Yes. Yeah, thanks, Leah. So as you can hear, yeah, we are not very far from the boundary between lots of human activity and what is going on in the woods. And this tree in particular that we are standing next to is this red oak tree, pretty easily distinguishable by its many lobed leaves with the sharp points on the red oak, and the fact that it still has a lot of its leaves at this point. The red oaks tend to hold on to them, and sometimes you can see them long into winter grasping onto those leaves. But the question you may be asking is, how did this one oak tree get right here? There aren't any others in this area. You know, there's some spruce and fir, and we got maybe a cottonwood over there, poplar, spruce. But these are the seeds of the oak tree, and you know, it's really no mystery how dandelions can spread all over a field, because you just take a little puff and blow their seeds all over and they disperse widely. But this, like, if there's no tree here, how did this travel to this spot? Well, sometimes the oak trees get a lot of help from a little blue friend who just heard in the distance. You can hear them, and often in these areas where human development and the natural world are meeting up, you can hear it saying, "Jay, Jay, Jay." And sometimes they get a bit of a reputation, these blue jays, for being kind of bullies at the bird feeder. You know, they're really loud, wake you up in the morning, but they're really pretty fascinating creatures who are quite smart. They're in the Corvidae family, you know, along with ravens, crows, and magpies. And so the blue jays will, and you tend to hear them more this time of year in the fall. And that's because earlier in the summer, they're doing their nesting thing, and they're actually trying to keep their nests pretty low key and undercover, so you're less likely to hear them. But then this time of year, they tend to gather up into large family groups, and as hawks and owls are migrating through their territory, blue jays are actually like the security alarm of the forest. You'll hear them making quite a racket and actually alarming lots of the other animals that there may be a predator in the area. And the blue jays can also mimic the call of some of those predators. They make a pretty good facsimile of a red hawk cry, which you may hear before the songbirds at your feeder clear out and the big blue jay comes in and starts eating. But one of their favorite things to eat are these acorns. And blue jays, you may not think of them much like a pelican, but actually the blue jays have this capability to expand their throat, kind of like a chipmunk, and they can hold 5 of these acorns at one time. So they'll have a few in their throat, one in their mouth, and then another in their beak. And they will scatter all over the place, and they'll push them down into the ground. They like to eat them also, and they use their bill like a chisel. They'll put one foot on the acorn and then use their bill and chisel down into it to get the nut meat out of there. But they also, like last week when we were talking about the squirrels caching, the blue jays, unlike the squirrels, which tend to cache their nuts and seeds in middens or in piles, the blue jays cache their acorns singly. And so they are also much more likely to place the acorn in an open area where, you know, if this acorn falls right underneath this giant tree, the chances that it's going to sprout and find the sunlight that it needs are pretty small. So the blue jays are actually pretty instrumental in dispersing the acorn seeds and allowing these oaks to thrive. And they're just the blue jays. They are very smart, as mentioned before. Part of that very smart family of birds, but their memories aren't perfect, and things happen. They every once in a while, people with good memories lose their keys, and blue jays with good memories forget where they placed an acorn. And then so that acorn will then sprout and become another beautiful red oak tree. So next time you see the blue jays and they've got their feathers up and they're bullying the birds around, just keep in mind that they're they have their place, and actually the birds that they are scaring away from the bird feeder may be the birds that they helped protect by alarming them to the presence of a red-tailed hawk, or by providing the shade of one of these lovely oak trees. Next time, the forecast is calling for a bit more frost, perhaps, so we'll start to talk about what happens when those freezing temperatures arrive.
Excellent. Thanks so much. See you next time.